They say history is written by the victors. But what happens when the victors try to completely rewrite the story of those who came before them? Today, we are diving into the incredible, almost unbelievable story of a visionary king from the history of Palpa and the calculated campaign to literally erase his name from memory. So, let's start with this. This is how historical texts describe our king, Mahadatta Sen. Right off the bat, you can see he wasn't just some ruler, he was a legend. This one line tells you everything. He was as fierce as a mythical warrior and as wise as the guru of the gods themselves. That's a heck of a reputation. Mahadatta Sen took the throne of the Palpa State way back in 1839 BS, which is roughly the late 18th century for most of us. But here's the thing. He wasn't just born into power and then sat back. Oh no. This was a man who was about to define an entire era for his kingdom. And he was a man of many layers. He was a powerful ruler, sure, but also a skilled diplomat and a dedicated family man. He married Princess Chandrabhaga from the mighty Malla dynasty of Parbat, and together they had children who would carry on his legacy, including a famously brilliant and learned daughter, Princess Vijayalakshmi. But you can't build a kingdom on family alone, right? Mahadatta Sen was an absolute master of strategy. He knew that the sharpest weapon isn't always a sword. Sometimes it's a brilliant political mind playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And his key strategy? Something called matrimonial diplomacy. He arranged for his highly educated daughter, Vijayalakshmi, to marry Bahadur Shah, the powerful prince regent of Gorkha. Now, you gotta understand, this wasn't just a wedding. This was a masterstroke of political genius. And the result of that marriage? Bam! An unstoppable alliance between the two major regional superpowers. The father-in-law and the son-in-law were now military partners, ready to completely reshape the map. And boy, were they successful. Their combined armies just swept through the western hill states. And what's really fascinating here is how they split the spoils. Palpa took control of territories like Gulmi and Arga, while Gorkha got Putan and Jajarkut. It was a true partnership with clear, tangible rewards for both sides. But here's where the story gets really interesting. King Mahadatta Sen's legacy wasn't just about winning wars. He was a creator, a builder. He used all that power and stability he'd fought for to forge a real, lasting future for his people. First off, the man was a master builder. He moved his capital to the stunning, strategic hills of Srinagar. He built this magnificent palace, developed the whole town of Tansen, and even constructed a huge public rest house for travelers. He was literally building the foundations of his kingdom. But this is where his vision just blows me away. He was a huge believer in education. He opened a school right inside his palace, and get this, he allowed the children of commoners to study right alongside the royals. This was completely revolutionary for the time. He was laying the groundwork for public education for everyone. And on top of all that, he was deeply connected to nature. He built temples and public ponds, and he was so thoughtful, he even made separate ones for people and for livestock. And in an act of incredible foresight, he declared the forest around his capital a protected area, all to preserve the vital water sources within it. How serious was he about protecting that forest? He built a massive, 18-inch thick stone wall to enclose it. Think about that. That's a powerful statement about conservation. And the most amazing part? The trees he saved, they are still standing today. Okay, so we have this incredible king who built this amazing legacy. But after his time, the state of Palpa was eventually merged into the larger kingdom of Nepal. And with new rulers came a new agenda. An agenda to systematically rewrite history and erase the Sen dynasty from the books. So that's the big question, isn't it? Could a legacy built in stone, in the minds of the people, and in nature itself, could it actually be erased? Well, when administrators from the Thapa dynasty were sent to govern Palpa, they didn't just want to rule, they wanted to own the history. So a very deliberate campaign began to replace the names of the Sen kings with their own. Take the Narayan Temple, which was built by Mahadatta Sen. The new guy in charge, Amar Singh Thapa, literally demolished the original temple. He rebuilt it in a totally different style and renamed it the Amar Narayan Temple. Yeah, after himself. And it didn't stop there. Remember that public rest house? That vital piece of infrastructure for the people? It got renamed Amar Pawa. Just like that, the original builder's name was wiped clean. Then another administrator, Ujir Singh Thapa, took it even further. He demolished an ancestral temple, rebuilt it, and then renamed it by mashing his own name, Ujir, with his mother's name, Rana Kumari, to create Rana Jishwari. I mean, the history of the Sen dynasty was literally being plastered over. So after all of that, what was left? When the new paint fades and the new names become old, what truly remains of King Mahadatta Sen's incredible legacy? Because here's the thing. You can change the name on a temple. You can slap your own name on a rest house. But you can't erase a foundation. The real impact of a great leader goes so much deeper than just a nameplate on a building. So, what couldn't be erased? The very layout of the town he established, that living, breathing forest he protected with that 18-inch wall. And maybe most important of all, the very idea of public education that he lit like a torch. These things are woven into the soil and the culture of Palpa. And this is why his legacy truly survived. It wasn't just written on stone plaques that could be torn down. It was written in the hearts and minds of his people. His real monument was the prosperous, enlightened kingdom he left behind. And all of this leaves you with a really fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? This one story from a small kingdom in the hills of Nepal is such a powerful reminder that history is always being shaped and reshaped. It really makes you wonder, how much of the history that we read every day is the full story and how much of it has been rewritten?